I made it in time. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. You're on Booktube. How did we do? I had a new time put up based on my schedule changes and convenience. So how do we like this time slot? Let me know. It is Wednesday. It is another Wednesday. On my channel, that means we have a Wednesday wrap-up. And we have a bit of a different size today. I only have 3 books, and interestingly, they're all library books. So I will be making a big trip back to the library to bring these back when I finish with my wrap-up and talking about the books so that I can hold them up. And just very satisfied library user. Go libraries. So I'll put this up there for folks as they trickle in. New time, slower reading. And the reason it's slower reading is because at least an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening is dedicated to drafting. That's right. Author update just at the top of the video is that March is drafting month for me. So my trilogy, which starts with ORLA, is going to be continuing, and I'm working on book 2. Looks so shiny. And so look for that next year. I'm drafting it now, and I'm at about 21,000 words, knock on wood. So I'm keeping up. I'm aiming for about 60,000 by the end of the month, but it is a busy month, and there are a lot of things demanding my attention. So we'll see how I do. How are you guys doing? You can let me know in the chat. I'm going to give the events to come also at the top of the hour. So there's a appearance on someone else's channel happening tomorrow. So let me pop that in the chat for anyone. In case you're interested in seeing my face on someone else's channel, my good friend Ven's Corner. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. Ven's Corner will be hosting me tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. GMT, because we're at that weird between time where we're on our daylight savings, but the UK isn't, and many other countries are not. So anyway, check the time, go to the video in the chat, and make sure it's in the right time for your time zone. YouTube does that for you, thankfully. And I will see you there tomorrow. Besides that, we just wrapped up the Black Author Tuber Readathon, and so I'll be reporting back on one of those books today. I actually have one more that I'm still working on, but it's just going to go into March because we can read Black authors books throughout the year, and it's just kind of a slower read. It's a memoir / self-help, like a mental health book. So I'm just going to take my time with that one. But yeah, I've changed the bit.ly link. So it now says 2026 BAT Readathon for Black Author Tuber. But you know what's funny is when I look at Darion's Instagram and he has BATR, for him it means Blood at the Root, which is a Black Author Tuber's book. So I don't recall if I put that one in or if someone has put that one in the chart yet, but that's definitely up for reading if anyone wants to read that one. But yeah, you can add it and just plan for next year if you're the type that plans long ahead, which is not me. Cat Paw's here. Hello, Cat Paw. Hope you're doing well today. Wednesday wrap-up time. So I had all library books, and just to ruin the suspense, should I ruin the suspense for everybody? No, I will wait. Okay, so they have one other thing all in common, and I'll wait till the end to divulge that. Ooh, did I not say Wednesday? Hi, Eva. What? Oh. Okay, so we're going to start with We Are the Origin. Ta-da! So another green book. We like a green themed cover. Yes, we do. We Are the Origin is by C.M. Lockhart, or Chelsea. Her channel is called Written in Melanin, and she's a delightful addition to the AuthorTube community, of which I am a part, and some of you maybe as well. And I've been a follower or a subscriber for a long time, but I'd had this in my back pocket to start for a long time. And it's one of those things where you're like, if I dive in, I have an opinion, like, what am I going to do? Because I know the author, and, I give honest reviews here. So to break the bubble of suspense with that one, I was in the right place. I did not regret picking up this book. How did I do? So We Are the Origin is a new adult Black fantasy. And when I was doing the research for this, reporting out, I realized that it's a trilogy. I don't think I knew that. I think Project Necromancer might be the third book that she talks about, but I'd never heard her connect them. So maybe not. But anyway, we have 2 books out of 3 that are published, and this is the first. So we have a world with diverse cultures and attitudes, but very similar human fallacies. So I'm just looking at my notes over here because I wanted to gather my thoughts. There are gods and a goddess, and we learn how they give their blessings to humans and interact with humans and have different sorts of relationships with humans. And there's a patron of each realm. So they all have sort of different god personalities, and, humans all have different foibles. So that was very realistically portrayed. This book is mostly centered on an epic quest in this installment. So the crew comes together and learns each other's strengths and weaknesses. And, we like some characters more than others. And I think the author drew some very clear lines. And that was fun. That was good. What's interesting is that having listened to Chelsea, because she has a podcast that she shares with a co-host, as well as writing sprints where she just talks with folks, is that I can hear, I can see and hear, I guess, the clear social critique coming through with the clash of different cultures in We Are the Origin. And I can imagine it's similar to how people feel when they read my books, because they hear me talk about stuff about our world that should be changed or is messed up, right? And then you read the book and you're like, ooh, I see parallels, or ooh, that could have come out of her mouth, or you know the person a little bit, so you can sort of make connections. And I won't say attribute, because the book is not the author, it's not a self-insert, but I just thought that was really cool. I don't think I've ever experienced that with another author before. So that's really a cool experience. And just to note, I'm careful to hold that that parallel, that social critique that I'm seeing happen loosely, and not assign it to Chelsea. So you're allowed as an author to create characters with complex views and internal contradictions, just like we have in our world, that it makes it more realistic and compelling when they do make those hard decisions. So really good. I found this book very well planned. I found the world building vivid, which is strange because Chelsea says she doesn't see things when she reads. I think I heard her say this, because we have this conversation in different places, and I can't remember who says what sometimes. But I think Chelsea said that she's not one of those people that envisions things, and so she obviously did a really good job trying to paint it for other people and being specific, because I was definitely seeing things, hearing things, smelling things, wanting to taste things. So, I just thought it was really great and funny that I had that backstory. Plenty of humor, lots of snide remarks, lots of witty repartee. I liked it. And tension when you need it for the pacing. So again, very well planned. And like I said, there are some characters I like better than others, but I won't spoil who's who until you've also read it, so you can draw your own conclusions. I did find one instance where a character said something that sounded like it came directly out of his mouth and our world. And I was like, okay, I guess we're allowed to mirror things in a fantasy world, but it did make me laugh because I was definitely in Chelsea's voice in my head. I don't know if she's gotten that feedback from anyone else. Maybe it's just so natural, but I don't have that specific phrase in anyone else's voice in my head, I think. So that's why it rang out and that made me laugh. Let's see. And let's see. The differences between our world and their world were pretty well explained, and the anthropology of the world myth was very cool. So again, the world building really, really neat. And I was definitely giving it the author once over. So this indie fantasy gets a 4-star from me. So way to go. Definitely recommend. And I put it in the description, but I'll also put it in the chat. I have a shortened link for Chelsea's shop. So you can buy direct from the author and support the author rather than a global monopoly billionaire. Yay! Yay. Love that it was at the library. Yay! It was chiming in here. And that is the link to purchase a paperback copy, just because that's my preference, but there's also hardcover and ebook available on the site, as well as anywhere else if you have other places to buy things. If it says, I'm going to see if my library has it too. Chelsea is great. Also, I may already own this book. Yes. So I know I own the second book, so I can now go into the second book having a little bit of like groundedness in the world. The second book is called We Are Dying Gods. So yeah, definite success. And encourage people to check out her channel and subscribe. Encourage people to visit the Melanin Library, which is books written by Black authors, and she curates them and sells them through her website, which I love, the direct channel. And yeah, so that closes this out in a wonderful way. And I'm glad Eva is here, because my next book is an Eva recommendation. And I even put it on a little tab here so that I'd remember in the stack. Yeah. So Eva recommended this book, I think a couple years ago at least, and it's Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper. And it's cute. You can see the cover. There's the little girl in braids and she's looking up at the stars. This is a middle grade, which I don't normally read, but I like to get a little diversity in my stacks when someone recommends something to me, as well as, Black History Month. Good time to like combine experiences and see if they have those bibliosynchronicity pairings, right? I love finding those. So what I found in this book, I also liked it a lot. Let's see. It's got a 1930s North Carolina setting, and it opens with it opens with a sighting of the KKK at night. So very scary for this like 10-year-old. I don't know if she's actually 10. She might be 9 or 11, but around that age. And it delves into the Black community that rallies around this threat. And we've got mostly lore and culture learning about the Black community in this small rural town in the 1930s. And a few times they sort of rub up against the parallel white small town that they're part of. The shop owner, the other school, because they're segregated, of course, and the doctors who are separate as well. And also a voting registration confrontation. So, relatable to real life in a way that we do not prefer, that we do not condone. But yeah, I loved the lore about the culture. They have, potlucks that remind me of Stone Soup, where everyone brings a little bit and everyone can have a feast. They have a traveling salesman who gets this feast because everyone comes in to buy things. They've got, people in danger or sick, and they all help each other out, which is lovely to see. And just like a lot of positivity moments in and among the, the learning and the growing up around the threat of the Klan activity. And to pull it all together, our main character wants to be a writer. So we get the story interspersed with her efforts at writing, and they gradually get a little better, and they're in kid handwriting with lots of scratch outs. It's pretty cute. So even if you're not a middle grade writer, I really liked learning a little bit about this rural Black community in the 1930s. And it was just like a little, oh, my computer blinked. I hope I'm still there. A little like ray of sunshine and good winning out, and community over uh it's not capitalism really. What are they fighting against? Like greed and ignorance, I suppose. So Stella by Starlight, 4 stars. Love it. Love it. Love it. Library book. I'll take my tab off when I return it. Let's turn the page here. Okay. Eva says, I love it so much. The Index. Are you talking about Chelsea? I haven't got her streams in ages and ages, but I used to be there all the time when I did the Index. Did you read We Are the Origin? Okay, cool. I also got, oh, I'm frozen. Okay, it's freaking me out. I'm plugged in. I'm like wired in and it's still like blinking at me, which is annoying. I definitely got one of the realms gave me Wakanda feels because of like all the high-tech stuff. I was like, this is so cool. But yeah, world building. Nice touching read. Yeah. Eva says, Stella by Starlight is my favorite genre, whatever genre that is. Middle grade historical. Yes. No, not slice of life. I definitely say middle grade historical. Okay. Another part of my life trying to call me here. Yes, very dark things. They're actually so real and not all that historical. Yeah. 30s. So not yet a century. And of course, the main character is a writer. I know. That makes it just all the more precious. With imposter syndrome. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. You're still here. Okay. I'm getting weird like blink outs, which is and you saw the blink too. Okay, good. Good. We're in the same vibe. Okay. I love it so much. It is the Melanin Library. Yes. Yay. The Index. Yeah. There's a lot of good work being done. I'm thinking of Devon's, I'm thinking of yours, I'm thinking of Chelsea's. Like there's lots of different curation. So yeah. Okay, so that's 2. And then the last one, since I'm only doing 3 books today, also from the library, what's the suspenseful link between all 3 of these books? They're all 4 stars. So there, now you have it. You can leave. So the last book is Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella, who's famous author, big backlist, probably like 24 books, famous sort of like romantic comedy. And I'll pop in I don't know if it would be fun to watch, but I'm going to include it anyway. The readathon live. So I had the idea to do like read a chapter and then see which one I borrowed from the library 5 different Sophie Kinsella books because she has like 20. They were all available. And hold on. Oh, that's good. Okay. And the first one I read, is it the first one? I think it was the first one I picked up. There were 2 that I was like, oh, I'm gonna like these better when I read the blurb aloud. And then I picked this one up and I just like raced through it in a day. I think I finished it that night. So it's really good. Love Your Life. It's got a really cute cover that gives a few details here. We've got a dog in between, and this cute little beagle. And, you know, the guy has a little dog toy, whatever, to tempt him. So what happens is they have a fish out of water type of meet cute, right? So she's on a writing retreat. She's trying to get her story going and she's very distracted. And apparently in the same Italian monastery where this writer retreat is happening, another retreat, which was for martial arts, had their instructor come down sick. And when I heard that, it was like in the 3rd chapter or something. That was the premise for them to meet. I had to laugh. I thought that was pretty darn funny. And hey, we don't require realism in our romantic comedies. It's fine. And so I love Sophie Kinsella. I think that what most people say about her writing is that her comedic timing is chef's kiss. So I would definitely agree with that. In terms of like relatable characters, I related to this character not in like the frazzled sort of distractedness and not being able to finish things, but in the like it's not a spoiler. No. So they come back from the writing retreat and they end up both living in London after not knowing anything about each other after a week of spending time with each other. And they're like, oh, this is great. We'll still have a relationship. It'll be pretty easy. But then they find out who each other is. And so he's like this younger generation of a big business. And she's like this scatty bohemian rescue dog loving writer slash other things to make ends meet. And so the clash of the lifestyles is pretty bad, and then they have to figure out, well, is this actually going to work? And so that's the sort of central romance part. And where was I going with that? What I identified with? Oh yes, so she looks at her life through his eyes, and you're getting like her point of view, right? And so you think this is all delightful, all the like rescue things and the furniture that breaks and the I don't know, like the books that she's rescued from the sidewalk, and that all felt very relatable. So I couldn't understand why he didn't appreciate all that. But yeah, this is my second Sophie Kinsella, and just like the burnout, I was just like really engrossed. She really wants to make it work. All her heroines are really earnest, and they may have been jaded in other parts of their lives, but in love they're just so hopeful, and it's nice to read that. Let's just say that. So it's not what I'm writing at the moment. I just had a really kind of scene, several actually in my current book. So it's coming on. Okay. So that is the book 3. And I'll turn back my tabs and return these 4-star reads back to the library, where they will go on to entertain and educate perhaps many, many others here in Multnomah County. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. All right, so that's the last one, and that's the link to the readathon live that just ended up being a reading sprint. And we've got Ven coming in to say hello. Did I already put your link in there? Yes, I did. I will. Did I mute the YouTube tab? Can I go to the tab? I did. Okay, good. Let me pin it. Let me pin event coming up. Pin message. Okay, so Ven's here. Ven gets shouted out. Shout out Eva, because Eva recommended a very good book. Shout out Ven, because Ven is hosting me tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I'm excited. We'll be talking about my newest work and my oldest work. And it's going to be, I feel like I'm going to get raked over the coals a little bit. That's okay. Eva says libraries are a maze. Yeah. Thank you for the reviews. Glad I caught this one specifically. Have fun. Got to find more Rex for the most obscure reader I know. Yeah. Just sending you tomorrow's invite now before I forget. Excellent. Oh, yes, you would. Yes, you would. No, I sent out a couple posts about it on Blue Sky and the YouTube community tab. And what I think is going to happen is that we're going to go down some rabbit holes. So I included that in the post just so people know what they're going to get. But yeah, today is a shorter wrap up. There's only 3 books, and I'm going to get back to my current reads, which include, for Irish Readathon, A Book of Migrations by Rebecca Solnit. This is a reread. I'm a bit past halfway. I read this like in college, so a long time ago. Dreaming the Eagle by Amanda Scott, which is about Boudica, and it's historical Irish myth legend. Sorry, not Irish, Celtic, so more appropriate for the Celtophile readathon. And Her Kid, first of a 4-book series. I'm very proud of myself on that one. My friend's borrowed book, The Great Offshore Grounds. I have to finish this. I'm only like a quarter of the way through, by Vanessa Veselka. And then we've got the last the self-help memoir from Black Author Tuber Readathon, You Gotta Be You, which is a Leslie recommendation by Brandon Kyle Goodman. So this is like a feel-good one, but I'm dipping in it like little pieces at a time. The two that are actually helping me get through my little focus crisis, let's call it, is For the People's Cause by John Murdoch's writings, but introduction and sort of biography by James Hunter. Celtophile readathon. He's a Scottish dude who went over and worked in different places in Scotland as an exciseman, stumping for Scottish culture, and then worked with Irish activists in the Land League, learned how they did it, and took it back to eventually help bring about the Crofters Commission, the Crofters Act in 1886. So this is the road not yet traveled, but so exciting because it's the other type of stories that I was interested in telling. And then I don't know why. I just wanted to pick this one up. I think I got it last year. And William Morris, Decor and Design by Elizabeth Wilhide, is giving me calming pictures and beautiful nature-inspired patterns and gorgeous interiors. So it's helping me center and feel calm. So that's what's happening on my neck of the woods, and those are my current reads. So if anyone has current reads they want to share, feel free. Or any books read yet in March? That was my question. So we'll give a few minutes for a little chat at the end and then send you on your way. I've got all these other Her Kid books that I haven't even cracked open yet. Anybody? I know Jim said he's reading 2 Mammoths for March of the Mammoths. So that is not likely to be finished by the 12th of the month. Kappa says, I'm all for rabbit holes. Yes. So I've been throwing little pieces of like Manchester history questions Ven's way because of the current book, which is set partially in Manchester. And he sent me some fun photos and I was like, what am I looking at? What's a signal box? You have to remember, Americans don't know old-timey public transportation. We skipped that step. All right. Ven says, I am reading an indie called 13. It's a mystery crime book. It's set in Iran, which is a new one for me. Interesting. That's definitely diversifying the reading shelf. I like it. There was a question. Yeah, the question is, did you finish anything in March yet, reading-wise? And I have a short read to get to called Spectro Solutions. That's giving me La Femme Nikita vibes. Spectro Solutions. Like, we'll clean up your crime scene in no time. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Short read. Beam, 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 beam. I'm hoping to make it to Manchester tomorrow morning. May even make it to Angut's and the Industry Museum as well. Interesting. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I was just, drafting wise, I was just in scenes in London, actually. So, yeah, and that's fictional. I mean, I've given it a street name that I know, but like fictional. But yeah, now she's back in Manchester and we're plotting to leave again. I love it. Oh, well, we had Manchester and then we had Carlisle and then we had London. So I've had 3 locations so far, just author update wise. It's kind of fun. And Catpaw says, finished Another Day Gone. And on to The Daughter of Victory Lights. I don't know either of those. Oh, very cool. Is it Is it for a specific readathon, or is it just on the list next to read? 2 books in 12 days. See, you're doing really well. Hopefully I'll have more. Like I said, some of these are going to be longer, and I'm going to dip out of a little bit more slowly. But I am hoping to finish the Irish and Celtophile ones and the borrowed book. So maybe 5 next time. Read what you own. Excellent. I love those. I love those words. Read what you own. All right. Cool. Well, that's our reviews for today, and that's our current reads, and I hope you enjoyed. Happy reading, everyone. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. All the good things. And I will see you tomorrow on Ven's Corner or somewhere else in the world. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.